For years, I thought I wanted financial freedom. I thought if I could just make enough money, grow enough income, build enough stability, that one day I would be financially free. Free to travel, free to make my own decisions, free to live a life on my terms. And the biggest thing of all, free to wake up excited about life. What I've come to realize is financial freedom is a beautiful goal. One that I've not met yet, but it's a beautiful goal. I wasn't actually chasing that financial freedom. I was just chasing freedom. I think a lot of people are doing the exact same thing. They have a certain goal in mind, and they're chasing that goal. But have you ever stopped and asked yourself why? Why am I chasing this goal? What is underneath the goal that I'm actually chasing? A lot of people may be chasing the money, the success, the relationships, the achievements, the house, the new career. And yes, all of those things will likely give you what you are actually looking for. But what if that thing that you're chasing isn't exactly what you want? What if that thing that you're chasing is just the vehicle to get you the thing that you actually want? Today, I want to talk to you about the difference between setting that goal and it just being a vehicle to get you to what you actually want. Welcome to the Inner Launch. I'm your host, Christina Bolkovich, and this is the podcast where we talk about rebuilding trust within yourself, creating a life that feels aligned, and becoming that person that you know you are capable of. So if you had asked me years ago what I wanted most in my life, I would have said financial freedom, hands down. And what I realized looking back is money wasn't exactly what I wanted. Money represented something to me. It represented freedom. So along the way of me searching for all this money, for this financial freedom, I convinced myself that I couldn't do it. I couldn't move ahead unless I had that. And that stopped me for years from actually going after what I wanted. I was waiting to have this certain amount, so I wasn't truly living the life the way I wanted to. I wasn't truly choosing myself and to pursue the things that felt good to me. I was choosing to put money above everything else because I thought I couldn't do it unless I had a certain amount, a certain number, a certain time frame. And that wasn't the case. At this point, I've been traveling for almost 3 years. What I have found is that you don't need a lot of money to travel all over. Granted, this statement does depend a lot on what you value. So if you value going out, doing drugs, smoking weed, whatever, that's fine, to each their own. But if you value that, you may need more money. But if that's not your thing, then you don't need that much money. We've been convinced that travel needs to cost a lot of money. But on the other side of that, has anyone ever stopped and thought, how do locals live there? Because the locals aren't paying what the tourists are paying. So there are ways. You just have to be willing to trust yourself enough to figure it out. I think one of the most important questions we can ask ourselves is, what is it that we're truly after? Because yes, we may be chasing that money, but that's the vehicle. What are you actually after? Most people never question what they want. They know what they want, but they don't always know why they want it. So if someone says, I want money, why? So I don't have to stress. Why? So I can relax. Why? So I can enjoy life. They weren't chasing the money. They were chasing peace. If someone says, I want a relationship, why? So I won't be alone. Why? So I feel loved. They're not chasing the relationship. They're chasing a connection. If someone says, I want a successful business, why? So I can make an impact. Why? So I can feel fulfilled. They're not chasing the business. They're chasing the purpose. The goal is very rarely ever the goal. The goal is just the thing that we believe will create the feeling that we're actually looking for. For me, financial freedom represented freedom itself. Freedom to live authentically and true to myself in the life that I chose. The problem was that I attached all of the future financial things to that goal. And one of the things that I've learned with that goal is freedom is rarely taken from you. You usually give it away very slowly over time. One decision at a time, one compromise at a time, one excuse at a time. For me, the biggest part of me not getting that financial freedom, or me not continuing to chase that and chase what my goals actually were, was being in a relationship. I put my goals on the back burner to help him with his goals. And this is not at all me saying, woe is me, because I'm fully aware I did that myself. But that's a lot of times what happens. We just put ourselves on the back burner and we say, we'll do this when. We'll do this when this happens, that happens, whatever it is. And eventually we get to a point where we realize, I didn't do that. I supported his dream. I stopped asking myself what I wanted. I stopped prioritizing my own visions. I stopped building towards my own future. And this doesn't just happen in relationships. People do it with careers, with family, with friendships, with expectations, and with responsibilities. They become so focused on meeting everyone else's needs that they let go of their own. And that doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong for doing this. It shows that you care. It shows that you're loyal. It shows that you're responsible. Because you believed that you'd actually get back to your goals at some point. The problem with later is later can turn into a week from now, 2 weeks from now, months from now, years from now. And it's very hard to get back into prioritizing yourself once you've been prioritizing other things for so long. And while everyone else is quietly moving along with their goals, your goal's just on the back burner. Eventually, after all that time has passed, you wake up and you ask yourself, when did I stop building my own life? And that question and the answer can be painful. Not because helping others is wrong. I don't regret helping the people that I love. What I regret is how long I stopped helping myself. Because I wasn't just postponing goals. I was postponing growth, possibilities, parts of myself, and that new version of me that I would have become along the way. I wasn't even participating in my own life. Many of us grow up believing that that's the way life works. Work hard now, sacrifice now. Be responsible now to be able to one day finally live that life that you want to live. Because one day you'll have enough money, enough time, enough certainty, enough security. So you keep pushing it off for that one day. Because one day life will begin. But what if that's actually backwards? What if life isn't supposed to begin someday? What if it's happening right now around you? And you're putting everything off for someday. Here's the truth. There is always going to be another goal, another milestone, another reason to wait. And if you are waiting for everything to be perfect before you allow yourself to actually be free, you'll be waiting forever. And this is something that I see everywhere. And yes, I've done it. Probably still do it. People constantly postpone their lives for one reason or another. for all the whens. I'll be happy when. I'll be confident when. I'll feel free when. I'll start living when. And the problem with when is it's always in the future and it never seems to come because there's always another when. Because when you achieve one thing, your mind automatically creates another condition. Like if you finally arrive where you thought you wanted to be, and somehow it still doesn't feel like it's enough. And that's because the habit was never chasing the goal. The habit was postponing your life. And if you don't break that habit, you keep postponing your happiness, no matter how much success you achieve. When I think about freedom now, I think about something completely different. Because now I see that freedom is not just finances. Freedom is having choices. Freedom is trusting yourself. Freedom is being able to say no without guilt. Freedom is saying bye to things that no longer align with you. Freedom is being honest about what you actually want. Freedom is being yourself. Freedom is being able to pursue exactly what you want. And knowing that your life belongs to you. Not the future goals, not the people you're helping. You. And you are enough as you are right now. You just have to keep choosing you. Now, out of all those things that I just listed, most of those things didn't require any money at all. I realized that I didn't need to wait to have all the money. I was able to choose myself. I was able to figure it out. That money sounds great, but at the same time, when you start living your life and trusting yourself, you start seeing what's actually capable. And you realize you don't need as much as you thought. Because that self-trust is worth so much more than the finances. I no longer wait for the perfect conditions. I'm not waiting for future versions of myself to finally start living. I'm doing my best to enjoy my life right now while I'm living it and building for that future me. So I want to leave you with a couple questions. What are you chasing? Why do you want it? What feeling do you believe it will give you? Maybe freedom, peace, connection, security, or purpose? What feeling do you believe it will give you? And once you've identified those feelings underneath the goal, ask yourself, what is one way I can create more of that feeling right now? Not next year, not after a promotion, not when I have more finances, right now. For years, I thought freedom was out there waiting for me somewhere. But now I've realized freedom's in here. Freedom's in here. So this is your reminder. Keep choosing yourself, even in the small ways. Don't stop living your life right now. You should be living it right now. And you can continue to build yourself while you live it. You don't have to have all the answers. Nothing is figured out. We're all figuring out life together. If you needed to hear this today, please subscribe and send it to a friend who you think may need to hear it as well. Thanks for watching The Inner Launch, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!